All right, so once again, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and having a wonderful day. So I'm Divisha Kaushik, currently pursuing MBA in Digital Enterprise Management at IIM Udaipur. And it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's webinar. So I have over 5 years of industry expertise in industrial automation and the automobile sector, serving clients in power, oil and gas, and major OEMs. So reflecting on my journey so far, I'm delighted to share that this course has been already immensely rewarding. And before we begin, just a quick reminder, whatever queries you have during the session, please do not post them in the chat window. Instead, type them in the Q&A section. I repeat, whatever queries you have, please type them in the Q&A section, and we will address them towards the end of the webinar. So now let's get started by introducing our esteemed guests and panelists for today. So first we have Professor Rajesh Agarwal sir, chairperson of the one-year MBA programs. Then we have Dr. Vaishekar sir, Center Head of Digital Enterprise. And then we have Ms. Suranda ma'am from Admissions Office. So we look forward to an engaging and insightful discussion with all of you. And with that, I now invite Professor Rajesh Agarwal sir to take the session forward.
Thank you very much, Divisha, and a very warm welcome to all the participants of the webinar this evening. Hope you find this session useful in taking a decision in this regard. Next slide, please. So the very first thing that comes in the mind of any candidate who is interested in applying in an institute is to understand what are the credentials of that institution. And I'm very proud to say that IIM Udaipur enjoys a very strong, not only domestic, but international credential in terms of the rankings and accreditation that it has received. One of the most prestigious ranking is the Financial Times ranking, which I'm sure all of you are familiar. And IIM Udaipur is ranked in the top 100 in the world in their Masters in Management program for 6 consecutive years. And we are the only IIM in the country to have achieved this feat, meaning while there are other IIMs who have come in and gone in this ranking, we are consecutively there for the last 6 years. Likewise, another prestigious ranking is the QS World University ranking, and we are also listed there for the last 6 consecutive years. The third thing is not about ranking, but about accreditation. One of the most prestigious accreditation in the world is the accreditation called AACSB, which stands for Association to Advance the Collegiate School of Business. Only 5% of the business schools in the world have this accreditation, and which means it's a hallmark of quality. And we are very proud to say, not only we got this, but we are the youngest institution in the world to have received this accreditation in a span of only 8 years. Since we started, we got it. For others, it takes much longer. Why I'm telling you all this right at the beginning about ranking and accreditation, because we are not chasing ranking and accreditation, we chase excellence, we chase quality. Rankings and accreditation is an outcome of basically our obsession with quality and excellence. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is some detail about the MBA program. This is a one-year MBA program, a full-time program, on-campus program, right? 1-year MBA, full-time, on campus. What that means is that those of you who are working will have to resign if you get admission and then join this program and get a job subsequently through campus placement. Another important thing is that it gives you an MBA degree after you finish this program. And to be able to apply, you need 2 things. One, of course, I'm sure all of you are graduates, but it requires that you have at least 36 months of full-time work experience, and you have to have a valid GMAT, GRE, or a CAT score, right? You have to have a score, you have to have a graduation degree, and you have 3 years of experience, you can apply. One of the common questions a lot of people ask is, what is the cutoff? My suggestion to such people would be, instead of worrying about the cutoff, if you have a valid score and if you have the 3 years of experience, go ahead and apply and leave the rest to the admissions committee to take a call. Next slide, please. Now, this program, we believe, is a very unique program, not only within the country, but also internationally, where we have tried to put two things together. First of all, because this is an MBA degree, it's a management program. There's no doubt about it. It's the management in business administration, master's in business administration, so it's an MBA degree. But also the context for this program is that of digital. You would agree with me that digital is the thing that is happening, right? It's given, it's going to be there for decades to come. And that's the reason we thought, let's have a program which is very compelling, and that's how the design of this program has come about. So at the very bottom of the pyramid, you see that when the students join the program, we teach them business management fundamentals. Once we have taught them the business management fundamentals, then we talk to them about how these concepts are applied in digital organizations, meaning how these concepts are used, and we focus on the emerging concepts, practices, and methods. So that is what happens next. And anything is digital when we say at the heart of digital is the power of data and technology. Then we see how we can leverage the power of data and technology, right? And the students start appreciating not only the role, but also the relevance of these in the digital world. How technologies can be used in creating, managing, and analyzing data. Because I said, how do we leverage the power of data to improve the quality of decision making, right? So that's what students learn subsequently. Then you can say, okay, so far so good, what next? Then we go about teaching the students how to apply the concept of digital in a specific industry vertical. For example, digital in retail sector, or for that matter, manufacturing sector, or healthcare sector, or fintech, right? So digital is applied across variety of sectors, and that's what you learn the next. And then another unique thing about the program is your ability to solve real life problems that companies are facing as of today through an industry project. So we invite several companies to give us their live problems, live projects, which you as students will be solving over a period of 3 to 4 months. And that I think makes this program very, very unique, so that you develop yourself ready to join the organization and solve their problems, right? So this is the design of the program. Next slide, please. I'm very glad to say this is the sixth batch for which we are admitting students. Having run the program for the first 5 years, we thought it's very important to review the curriculum. So those students who will be joining the program the next year shall be studying the revamped curriculum, which is completely, re-looked at from the industry perspective. So as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen in the orange box, you get to study all the core management subjects such as finance and economics, entrepreneurship, communication, strategy, marketing, so whole host of management subjects you get to study. Then we talk about fundamentals of digital management, where you learn courses in design thinking, digital marketing, digital product management, digital transformation. And then courses related to data and technology has to have analytics, visualization, cloud technology, AI, data-driven organization, privacy-related courses, artificial intelligence-related courses, and sustainability. So these are the courses related to data and technology. And a while ago, I talked to you about digital in the industry vertical. And here you can see the whole host of industry verticals are listed, right? Where you can see the application of whatever you have learned thus far in a specific industry vertical. And going down, you can see in the dark green boxes, experiencing digital management, meaning through live industry project. As I said, we bring the real life to the classroom, where you shall be experiencing and solving and working on live industry project. And last but not the least is something that you can see in the box in the red color, which talks about workshops on emerging technologies for business. As you can imagine, digital is a happening space, right? What is considered great and most advanced today may not be all that advanced tomorrow. So through the workshops, we shall be bringing in industry experts to the classroom, where they will be talking to you about what is the most happening in the sector, right? What is it that the industry is going to experience, right? And that we will bring in through what is called the workshop on emerging technologies. To give an example, for example, say quantum computing, right? Maybe industry is not looking at the use of quantum computing right now, but that will come happen in a time to come. So those kinds of topics will be brought through workshops on emerging technologies. And that's how we believe this total package of the curriculum brings in what is the most relevant, what is industry ready, and what will make you the most employable in our judgment to the industry. Next slide, please. Now, the Institute thinks not only this program is extremely important, the Institute believes that the field of digital itself is of immense importance, and it has set up a center of excellence in the name of Center for Digital Enterprise, which incidentally also guides the design of this program, delivery of this program, and we have industry experts in this center. And Dr. Shekhar, who is an industry veteran, so Dr. Shekhar is the head of that center, and I would like to invite Dr. Shekhar to briefly talk to you about what the center does and how does it affect the design and delivery of this program. So over to Dr. Shekhar.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh. Good evening to all my co-panelists, and a warm welcome to all the attendees in today's webinar. It's a pleasure to be speaking to all of you, and I'm very hopeful that you'll have some questions at the end of it, which would trigger our minds to come up with right answers, and maybe answers that lead us to thinking further into what digital is and what it can do for all of us in future. Maybe move to the next slide. So the first thing, and one of the most important aspects that the center works on, besides looking at, as Professor Rajesh mentioned, into the broad structure of the curriculum, trying to keep it contemporary and involving industry in it, is the industry relationship itself. The relationship is a multi-dimensional relationship. One, we understand what are the kinds of problems the industry is facing for which they need talent. The other is the kind of work that they would like us to get involved in, either in the form of research or in terms of project engagement. Third, it's in the area of what we now call as funding, research or sponsorship. And in this, I would actually mention one very important aspect is that for the last 2 years, IIM Udaipur has been hosting an event called India Digital Conclave. India Digital Conclave is a very unique event that IIM Udaipur does in different cities. This time it was in Mumbai, in participation with the industry. And this is to promote it's actually a platform that is getting built for policy practitioners, researchers, entrepreneurs to come together and discuss what are the challenges that India faces as a nation, and where is India in the global context of digitalization. So we do have people coming from government of India, and of course the best of minds in the professional industry, research industry, coming together and discussing. So this is where the industry academia alliance actually flourishes. And finally, from your perspective, industry comes to our campus for placement, for which a lot of engagement and relationship is built over a sustained period of time, and that's how placement also gets impacted. Maybe move on to the next. How do we go about doing it? We have a good representation from the industry, which is a cross section of consulting, tech firms, startup firms that are actually working day in and day out in the areas of digital, what we now call as the cutting edge. So you see the names here of people who are there from consulting firms, from tech companies, as well as startups, enabling us to look at what is relevant, what are those challenges that need to be addressed, what can be taught and how can they be taught, what kind of pedagogy is required as inputs that comes to our faculty, as well as enable us to develop the relationship out in the community of professionals with whom we engage over a sustained period of time. You can move on to the next. Let Divisha complete a couple of slides. I'll come back to you in the context of an example that she'll be speaking about projects where the Industry Academia Alliance will actually also get explained further. Over to you, Divisha.
Thank you so much, sir. So coming to the slide, basically it showcases the placement achievements of the DEM batch for the 2023-24. So with an impressive average maximum earning potential of 21.67 lakhs, it reflects the value of the program and the diverse opportunities it offers. So some of the top recruiters who hired from our batch include Accenture, Cognizant, Infosys, Camps, Delivery, DP World, and many others. So the organizations offered a variety of roles across areas like consulting and strategy, product and project management, sales and business development, information technology, operations management, and many more. So the diversity in role highlights how our program prepares students, for different career paths in the leading organizations. So moving further, well, this slide is my favorite. I'm excited to share my transformational journey in this program at IIM Udaipur. So learning alongside, the peers from diverse educational and professional background has expanded my perspective and exposed me to fresh approaches. The programs focus on experiential learning through real life case studies, hands on projects, and guidance from market savvy professors has equipped me with practical skills that extend beyond textbooks. So, what stands out is the personalized support we receive, whether it is resume building, it's interview preparation, or one on one placement guidance. I'm confident that this program has equipped me with the knowledge and skills to drive digital transformation across industries and thrive in the ever evolving business landscapes. So moving on to the slide, it highlights the live projects we engaged in during our last term, that is term three. We were privileged to collaborate with some of the leading organizations like BCG, Tata Digital, Tech Mahindra, Big Basket, NimbleWorks, InfoEdge, and many others. So these projects span various industries, be it consulting, e-commerce, tech solutions, ensuring that we gain exposure to a wide range of sectors. What truly stands out is how these projects were tailored to align with both our personal interests, be it in the AI strategy, the product management, or other domains, and the current demands of the industry. So this hands-on experience has not only allowed us to apply what we have learned in the real-world setting, but also provided an incredible opportunity to gain the relevant skills, interact with top industry leaders, and to help us prepare for the future roles. So moving further, so in this slide, I want to showcase the diverse live projects undertaken by our students with a strong focus on strategy and management with 30% of projects in it. And then large language models with 25% of projects done in this area. And then some other projects are done in the emerging fields like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and the business analytics. So these projects overall provide the practical exposure across cutting edge industry domains. And now I would like to hand it over to Professor Vaishekar sir if he wants to add more on this.
Yes, thank you, Devisha. As Professor Rajesh mentioned, that the overall structure of the DEM program has immersion at some point in time. This is the area where every student works on projects that are sponsored by the industry. There is somebody from the industry side who's also monitoring and guiding the students on these projects, besides a guide from within the institute. uh, the trend I want to speak about is what you see here is strategy, large language, etc. Is all now moving in the direction of AI, and you see artificial intelligence showing 20%. That's the core work on AI, but all of them, like strategy, also involves AI. So the industry has started giving projects where the underlying theme is built on AI. So, how do you develop a business strategy using certain AI tools? And that becomes an intense work for the students to actually come up with. And let me tell you, not every other student of your batch elsewhere is doing these kind of work. So, we are able to bring in the nuance of saying how the DEM program helps you understand what is real life problem, what is cutting edge, and what actually occupies the mind of the seniors, of the top leaders in the business world that you're actually going to engage with in future. And this drift that we see, we've seen a very clear shift from what it was in 2020 to what it is in 2024, 25. And what we are seeing further, as once again Professor Rajesh mentioned, emerging trends, we are trying to encapsulate some of these things into that aspect, such that while you are in the campus, you are getting exposed to very new things from people in the industry. And the whole concept here is to help you work with those technologies or in those domains, such that you get an experiential learning out of it. So this becomes a very strong component of the learning, besides, of course, how management schools teach you in terms of case studies, discussions, and other thought provoking manners in the classroom. So this is the overall thing that we wanted to talk to you about. I hand it over back to Professor Rajesh to take it through for the rest of the presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shekhar. Devisha, next slide, please. Right. So essentially, this final question that would come in your mind is, should I really be considering this program? Is it for me? And we believe that this is a unique program, as I said, not only in the country, but globally in many ways. And what is unique, let me highlight again. This, at the end of the day, is an MBA program. But what makes it unique? The unique thing is about the context. The context is digital. So how do we leverage the power of digital to improve business decision? And that is the expertise that you shall develop over 1 year period, which means to be able to do that, you shall appreciate and understand the field of digital completely through the courses and live projects that we talk about. But at the end of the day, it's an MBA program which helps you improve business decisions, right? And that is what distinguishes this program from other technical programs. And that, we believe, makes it a very, very unique program. It's a program which gives you a formal MBA degree from an IIM. It's heavily, heavily industry oriented, both in terms of its design, because the design of the program is influenced, guided by the industry expert Dr. Shekhar was talking about. They have helped us design so that it is industry ready. Approximately 50% of the program is also taught by industry experts, right? And that is where we believe it's very heavily biased towards real life, towards industry. And IIM Udaipur, as I mentioned a while ago, is a premier institution. In a span of 13 years, we have established ourselves extremely well. We are ranked in the Financial Times QS World University ranking, which are very reputable. So I would like to say this: if I were in your position, if I would think two things. Number one, if digital as a space excites me, I feel excited about digital. I believe digital is the future in terms of work. And if MBA degree excites me, then perhaps this is a program that you should seriously consider applying. That, as I said, the caveat is you have to find digital as exciting. So I hope you take a decision which is right for you. And we shall be, in the next few minutes, we'll be taking your questions if you have any, and answer them to the best of our ability so that you can take a decision what is in your best interest, right? Thank you so much for your patience to kind of go through, listen to us in the webinar. Next slide, please. So here, we will be answering your questions, right, soon after. But I would also request you to take a screenshot of what you see on the screen so that if you have a question, even subsequently, you can write to us and we shall be happy to revert back to you. So I hope you can take a screenshot of this before we close this presentation, right? Great. Thank you so much. And I would request now Devisha to host the Q&A section, whereby she will be reading the questions and the panelists will be answering the questions that you have asked. Thank you very much again. Devisha, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, sir, we've got the first question over here from an anonymous attendee. It says that, dear sir, the question is about the FT ranking. It refers to Masters in Management. Does this not correspond to the 1 year MBA in DEM? This ranking was given to a different program, the 2 year MBA program, correct? Please let us know, sir.
You are absolutely right. The Masters in Management ranking corresponds to the 2-year MBA. We have not yet applied for the 1-year MBA program ranking because you have to have certain number of years of program and there are other conditionalities. So we have not yet applied. But why we share with you the ranking of the 2-year MBA program, which is Masters in Management, is to talk about the philosophy and the quality orientation and the excellence orientation in the institution. So if that is true of one program, it is something very similar true of other programs. So we don't have a ranking for 1-year MBA yet separately, else we would have certainly shared with you. But you're absolutely right.
So, sir, the next question is from Shivam Kumar. What is the admission process after registration? Only PI or GD, WAT as well? Will that GD or PI be of more than 1 day? In which cities will candidates be called? Till when can I expect PI date? And till when the final confirmation will be available?
Sivam, very good that you asked this question so that all attendees can listen to this. So those of you who apply, let me kind of briefly in a couple of in a minute tell you the process. Once we received your filled in application form, duly filled in application form, we go through a process of shortlisting. So we will look for those who are eligible to kind of apply, which means 3 years of experience, and then CAT, GMAT, GRE score. So those who fulfill the eligibility conditions that we have set will get shortlisted for further interview, right? And then the admissions office will reach out to you to set up a date for the interview, where interviews will happen only over a Zoom call. So there's no need to travel to any city or a place. All the interviews will happen through a Zoom call at a date and time which is mutually convenient to the panel members as well as the attendees, right? There shall be only one interview for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. There is no group discussion or written analysis test or anything. So only one step remains, that is the personal interview. After personal interviews are done and the institute collates the results, it will declare the results by which it will directly communicate to you. Last date to apply for this program is very close, 31st of January. It's only a few days left. And we shall declare the last result latest by 17th of February. So we'll keep declaring the results as and when we are ready with the results, but all the results will be out by 17th of February. So Shivam, I hope it clarifies your question. If you have any more, please feel free to key in.
So, sir, next question is from Ved Prakash Thakur, and he's asking that my experience lies in mechanical engineering as maintenance engineer. How this program will help me?
Shall I take that?
Yes.
So, Ved, I'm going to repeat what Professor Rajesh mentioned is what is your interest? So let me use this question to answer perhaps some of the other questions too that are coming in. The design of DEM program is industry agnostic. And by that, I mean your prior experience, your prior qualifications do not carry a bias for you to come into this program. The program helps the participants to become leaders, future leaders, and managers in the context of digital, irrespective of which industry they came from or what kind of work experience they had. So there is no fine tuning of the program to say that you've been a mechanical engineer and with this particular further qualification you will get a particular kind of role. So, having clarified that, what do people actually look for in candidates who've completed a DEM program? Are the abilities to think like a manager in the context of digital. Your prior experience gives them an indication as to what kind of work you've done, and also your ability to think through scenarios and situations. And how do you apply the ability of a manager after this particular program are the key areas that are the companies that come to campus look for. That is where you have to exhibit your skills in terms of saying that I've understood digital, and with my knowledge in mechanical engineering and my experience in maintenance, I see, say, something like AR VR helping me, or something like IoT coming into the industry 4.0, or what is the concept of industry 5.0. So some of these things are prompts that you will actually have to bring to the conversation for you to be far more visible when you move out of this particular program. So I repeat, this program is generic, it's for everybody. It is not for a person with a particular qualification to come in, and neither does it specialize you into a particular area of work or in skill at the end of the program. I hope this answers your question. If you have a follow up, please put that up in the same section.
Thank you, sir, for answering that. Then we have next question from Shivam Kumar. How is this program different from Executive MBA by IIMU, which also has almost the same eligibility, which is minimum 3 years of experience plus GMAT, CAT or GRE plus graduation?
Great. Thank you again, Shivam, for asking this question. And let me clarify. There are significant differences. First of all, the EMBA program is largely an online program. It is not on campus. So those who are opting for EMBA can continue to work and continue to learn. EMBA program is a general management program, whereas MBA DEM is digital specific program, right? So the context is digital. EMBA doesn't have a placements or career support, whereas MBA DEM has a career support and you are going to be on campus, right? So these are the three major differences. And depending on what works the best for you, you should choose. But if you're interested in digital and campus placement, then this is the program. EMBA will not give you the placement and you don't have to come to the campus.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is there international immersion weeks in the program curriculum? I'm not able to see on the IMU website. All other reputed IIMs provide 2 to 3 weeks Europe or USA or B school immersion to the student of their 1 year MBA. If it's not available in this IMU program, may I know what are the reasons behind the same?
Okay, let me take an attempt and I will request Dr. Shekhar to support if needed. Vivek, thanks for asking this question. The very purpose of an immersion or internship is to get a first-hand exposure to working in the organization. We at IIM therefore believe that 1 year is a short duration and time is a very busy program. So we have to use each week of yours in a very productive way. And we believe that doing an international immersion for an audience which has already worked for on average 3 to 5 years or even longer, there is not much of a value addition as compared to doing things that we are doing in the program. And also, if you look at the field of digital, the most happening place in the digital is India, right? We don't have to travel to any other country to be able to experience digital. You can experience digital the best here. And perhaps there is no need to travel outside India to be able to add value. Dr. Shekhar, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think you nailed it there, Professor Rajesh. You mentioned earlier in your presentation that this program is unique, not only in this country, but also perhaps globally. And this is where the uniqueness comes in, that DEM is seeped in digital. Everything that you study, besides the foundational parts of management, takes you into the digital world. And it is not a layer of saying that digital also happens, say, in marketing or in finance or in operations and things like that. So once you are made to think in the context of digital, and the country where maximum action is happening, perhaps the only other country I can think of is China, where this kind of a work is happening, uh, gives you the opportunity to express yourself here. So we don't believe that immersion in US or Europe value adds. In fact, in many of our discussions, they are more interested in seeing how we can collaborate on projects so that they can experience the speed at which digital is changing the landscape here. So it's actually a reverse trend at this point in time. So we would like our students to get best exposure, and that's where the projects that we do in DEM program are called cutting edge. Thank you.
So the next question is from Monil Shah. Are placements of regular MBA program and DEM programs placement happen parallelly?
Yes, absolutely. So the 2 year MBA program, we run a supply chain program, we run a digital program. The placements of all these programs happen parallelly, but there is a different audience, different companies who are interested in different roles. So accordingly, they approach us and we approach them.
Sure, sir. So the next question is from Arman Lakhanpal. He says, thank you so much for such an informative session. I would like to understand if with 50% percentile in GMAT, I could make the cut.
So Arman, we can't be discussing the cutoffs and the scores over a webinar. What we discuss over the webinar is the process. And to be able to find out whether it makes the cut or not, the only one way is that you have to make an application.
So the next question is from anonymous attendee. Dear panel members, can you please tell me what will be the intake or strength of the MBA DEM program and the MBA SCM program?
So roughly, I mean, we don't have a specific number in mind, but broadly, we intend to admit a batch of around 60 to 65, both for the supply chain as well as for the digital program.
So next question is from Vivek Jaiswal. Given the context of DEM, what are the niche roles companies offer that is different from other B school candidates?
Let me answer that. I'm not sure what the other institutes are doing. They don't have a similar program. But what I would like to talk about is the kind of roles that our students are getting into. So as we said, as Divisha, sorry, has presented on the kind of roles that typically organizations come seeking for. What is also happening now is the ability to bring in the element of AI even into the role. So how can a potential manager deal with AI, or how, as a product manager, you can engage with AI? So it's a blend of AI in product management and project management and digital transformation consulting activities in business analytics and those kind of things, which are the ones that are popularly sought for when organizations come to the campus. But I must also mention here that the landscape there is also changing fast. Sometimes we get caught into some of these designations where the roles are very different. So there are emerging roles that are there that mid-sized startups also come up with. And we have to wait and watch whether those are the new trends that one needs to pay attention to.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So the next question is from Sanchia Ghosh. She says, is it mandatory to send official scores from GMAT website?
Sunanda, can you take that, please?
Yes. Yes, it is mandatory to send official scores from GMAT website.
The next question is from Vishesh Verma. Hello, sir. I'm not able to find the place of placing video resume URL while filling the application. And in the end of the application, I'm getting the URL space as blank. Is the video resume mandatory?
So video resume is not mandatory, it's not required at all. In fact, Sunanda, can you further clarify?
Yes. No, now you do not have to upload the video resume and it won't give you any error when you submit your application. You'll be able to proceed and you can pay.
Next question is from SK Yunus. Hello, sir. Hope you are doing well. I have around 6 years of experience, which is 3.3 in Gemini and 2.6 years in Tata Steel Limited. My CAT score is 70 percentile. Will I get a shortlist with above?
Let me answer this. To all those attendees who have raised question about their specific score and asking whether that score is good enough to make the cut, when we evaluate applications, we evaluate them holistically in totality. So as I said, very difficult for us to give any answer specific on a webinar to say who is, we can talk about eligibility conditions, but we cannot talk about which score is good or not good enough. But if I were in your position, and if I have a score, the best thing to find it out is by applying, because it doesn't take more than half an hour to fill up an application and apply, and then you get to know the answer very quickly.
So the next question is from Amit Pandey. Dear sir, what will be the curriculum for the whole year? How many terms will be there? What will be the number of months per term? And how is the semester exam conducted?
So Amit, let me answer you this. So this is a 1-year program. The program is divided into 4 terms. Each term is approximately 3 months of period, right? So we have 4 terms of 3 months each. And candidates will move from one term to other, and there will be term end examinations. There will be, in fact, midterm examinations. But we also believe in continuous evaluation. So there will be quizzes throughout the program. I must say that it is a rigorous program. It's a demanding program. It is not an easy cakewalk program. So it makes demands on you. And I think Divisha Divisha, would you like to talk about what does it mean to be a student in the program very briefly?
Yeah, so sir, as you have already mentioned that our performance will be evaluated like throughout continuously. So we will have in almost in all of the subjects, we have to create one project. We have to do multiple presentations, and then there will be multiple quizzes. Also, we'll have to go through the cases in detail so that we can do the class participation as well. All that would be there.
Great, thank you. So I hope it helps Amit in understanding. But at every stage there is support available. I mean, you can approach a faculty member anytime should you need any help in understanding post class and clearing your doubts or tutorial. So all those support systems are in place to be able to help a student.
So, sir, the next question is from an anonymous attendee. Hello, sir. I'd like to know if there are any benefits of choosing the DEM program over a conventional MBA as someone with 3 years of experience.
So this is a choice that you have to make, right? There is a general MBA which prepares you for general management, right? And which is there is a space for it, there are opportunities for that. But there are others who believe that a particular domain is something that I want to build my career in because I strongly believe that a particular domain with management expertise is going to give me better opportunities in life. So some students choose that. Which one is the most appropriate? The choice ultimately has to be made by the concerned individual. So I'm sure as we speak that digital is the future and MBA in digital offers great opportunities. There are others who believe that they would like to do a general MBA. For them, general MBA is fine. So ultimately, you have to take a call. What are you passionate about, and what do you believe is the future? And depending on that, you take a call. Right? I mean, Dr. Shekhar would like to say anything else?
No, I think you said it right, because even in the world, there is a view that everything is digital. There's one school of thought that everybody believes future is only about digital, and there is the other school of thought that there is something beyond digital, something beside digital. So it's one's choice, and that is the choice that's going to be the driving force for everything in future.
So, sir, we have got the question again on the internal immersion or exchange program, like which we've already answered, but I'm seeing the
Yeah.
question again.
Yeah, we already answered. We don't believe that international immersion is going to add value to the students. We would rather preserve the time to do something more demanding, more compelling, more meaningful on campus. And that's why we don't have it.
So, sir, there's again the question on the video resume option. One of the anonymous attendees asking that I have not come across a video resume option while filling the application form. Do candidates who upload video resume given more preference while shortlisting to reduce the time and effort taken by admissions committee while shortlisting? Will I be at a disadvantage for not uploading the video resume?
Let me answer this. There is no video resume to be uploaded at all. It's not required at all. So I'm wondering as to there may be some glitch that it is showing up that option in the application process. Please do not upload the video. There is no such requirement. And certainly there is no question of any preference because it's not a requirement, right? So I hope it clarifies to all. There is no video profile required.
So the next question is from Vivek Jaiswal. I plan to appear for GMAT in a couple of days. While filling up the form, it doesn't allow me with the option to submit the score later and complete the form.
So Nanda, I would like to answer this.
Yes. Um, See, the deadline for submitting applications is 31st January. So you have to appear for GMAT before that. If you are able to take the screenshot of your when at your test center, that will be acceptable because we'll be needing some scores before 31st. The official scorecard you can submit later over the email.
So the next question is from an anonymous attendee. What is the course fees?
So the total course fee, including your living expenses in the hostel, mess bill, canteen, everything put together is 22,65,000, right? This is all inclusive. There is 30,000 rupees deposit in addition, which you as a caution deposit, which you get it back, which is not a part of fee as such. So the total fee, including your stay, board, lodge, everything put together is 22.65 lakh.
So the next question is from Vinay. Good day to the panel. When will the results of cycle 3 be released, sir?
So the cycle 3 results will be published on 31st of this month. That is what was mentioned on the website. So that's the day you can expect to receive the results.
So next question is from anonymous attendee. How's the placement and what they see in the candidate? How is the future? Will the company accept 1 year program in the future, let's say after 2 to 3 years?
Okay, so let me take the last part the first. 1 year MBA program is popular globally. In fact, it came to India much later. The very first 1 year MBA program, I would say, was offered by ISB Hyderabad. Then in 2008, IIM Ahmedabad started called PGPX. And with the success of these programs, other IIMs have started. So the only reason why 1 year MBA programs are becoming more popular is simply because there is a greater acceptance in the industry, right? So for lateral hiring, right, companies realize this is one of the best ways of hiring to come to the campus and hire students who have some work experience. So we believe, in fact, there is an article by the director of IIM Ahmedabad that in the years to come, 1 year MBA program would be even surpassing the 2 year MBA program. We don't know whether that's going to happen or not, but we certainly believe that there is a room for both the 2 year MBA program as well as 1 year MBA program to coexist, because it's a different audience altogether. 2 year MBA are largely freshers, 1 year MBA students are largely, and not largely, 100% have a work experience.
So the next question is from Amit Pandey. Dear
Okay,
sir,
sorry to interrupt. There's more question, but so he's saying, how was the placement? I think maybe he's referring to how has the placement been this year. This year, the placement is going on. Approximately 2/3 of the batch has already been placed. We still have more than 2 months to go. We are very hopeful to place the remaining 1/3 of the batch in the coming weeks. And that's one part. And then how is the future? I talked about how the companies accept. Yeah, they certainly accept. In fact, you have seen the previous record. I would encourage you to go to our website and look at the placement data of each year where it has been audited. You can refer to the placement data and you'll find all the details of the placement of the previous years. Sorry, go ahead, Divisha.
yes, so the next question is from Amit Pandey. Dear sir, what will be the joining date? By which date the classes shall be starting?
So the program begins on 8th of April. The students have to come a day before, I suppose, but 8th of April, the orientation begins and the classes will begin from another 2-3 days from then. So yes, the program begins on 8th of April and finishes on 31st March next year.
So the next question is from Vivek Jaiswal. Do we have any digitized network tool to connect with them alumni from past 5 batches? If not, what else can be the quickest way to reach out to them, given not everyone is promptly available on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so for people who are yet to be students or alumnus of this particular program, LinkedIn is the option, or whatever, Instagram or wherever. You have to answer that, Divisha, where are you to be found, kinds. But I think once you graduate, you become an alumnus. There is a network that is created for the alumni, and they further form their own networks. So this is where the initiative of the students also starts showing up.
But if I can say, I mean, maybe if you are interested to know more and talk to some more students, maybe you touch base with Divisha and she can talk to you and she can give more names of some of our other students on campus, and you can talk to other students to understand more about the program.
Sure, sir. So the next question is from anonymous attendee. Will IIMU help in providing the financial assistance like bank loan? Is it easy to get the same without any collateral?
So let me start, and I request Suninda to. We have a tie-up with several banks, and you will find the details on our website. To begin with, we have a tie-up with State Bank of India, IIM Udaipur branch, and then all the applicants are given the loan without any hassle, that I understand. But Sunanda, you would like to add anything more?
Yeah. Along with SBI, Canara Bank also offers scholar loans for 1 year MBA.
And how about collaterals?
Yeah, I guess I have to check it.
So collateral, what happens is they do look at sometimes your some basic understanding of your ability to repay, but I'm sure that's why we have a panel of more banks, and but in my understanding so far over the last 6 years, that largely most students get through the loan process very quickly, and they're actually able to get and disburse it within the period of 3 weeks largely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, sir, the last question I can see is from Vivek again. Actually, the question is not very much clear. Dear panel members, can you give an example of any candidate that stood out in the admission interview, barring scores?
I'm afraid I don't understand that question. Vivek, can you clarify that? Would be better, because I don't know what that means, barring scores and standing out in the interview process. Yeah. Divisha, can you read the next one while we await Vivek's clarification on the question?
Yeah, sure, sir. So we have another question from anonymous attendee. Dear panel, regarding GMAT test score upload, my test is tomorrow, that is 25th Jan. We cannot take a screenshot at the GMAT test center. I can see my score after the test ends at the test center and enter the same, that is scores, in my application form. I cannot upload a screenshot. I can, however, upload the test appointment email if required. Please advise me what to upload if an attachment is required.
Sunanda, they're saying that they're not able to take the screenshot. How they
Yeah.
complete the application process?
Actually, if they request the invigilator there and they explain that the admissions are closing on 31st January, I guess they'll be taking screenshots in their mobile and share them, because we'll be needing scores at the end.
No, so yeah, so but then if the invigilator does not allow such a screenshot, are you in a position to accept the application with the...
Normally, we do not, but what you can do is you can write it over an email and
Yes.
send us. We'll let you know
Yeah.
whatever is the outcome. Okay.
We shall be able to figure out a way. So please drop an
Yes.
email quickly on this issue, and then admissions office will come back to you with the referred. Yeah.
So, sir, we have another question from Amit Pandey. Dear sir, thank you so much for the session. Will this course have coding subjects?
Dr. Shekhar?
Yes, yes, it does have. When we say coding, it is not that going to be tested as a coder, but some of these subjects, especially when you're doing analytics, there are certain parts where you would be expected to code. A course on artificial intelligence may also make you do some bit of coding work in ML. Some of the projects may also drive you towards coding. So these are broad areas where coding may show up. But when we say coding, it is not that you're expected to be an expert there. So there are assistance provided. But the idea is for you to understand how to develop or generate some of these things, which eventually shall help you at your workplace. Divisha, you could add on this, since you've done some projects as well as been through much of the program.
Yeah, sure, sir. So, like you have already explained, in AI, when we have to complete a project, we need to, like, for example, if we are doing using some ML algorithm like CNN or RNN, so we had to prepare a code for that as a team. So all the projects will only be in the groups, so we can always, like, share the the workload and do it. And then also in the advanced analytics as well, we were given a case and a problem statement, and we had to, like, approach it by doing some a bit of coding. So coding would sure come in the analytics subjects for sure. So, sir, I cannot see any more questions.
There is one question that, yeah, is popping up. Yes.
Yeah, so there's another question from Shivam. Hi, panel. Thanks for answering my previous questions. That helps a lot. I want to ask further, is it a diploma or a degree program? Is it AICTE approved?
Oh, two very good questions, Shivam. So first thing is that you will get a degree, MBA degree, not a diploma, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is whether it is AICTE approved. Just to share with the participants that in 2017, Government of India, through an act of parliament, made an act called IIM Act, right? And in under that act, these were classified as institution of national importance, and they were granted the autonomy to straight away grant degrees, right? So because the government of India, like IITs, considered IIMs as institutions of national importance and gave them the power to authority to grant degrees, there is no need for a separate AICTE recognition. AICTE recognition is largely applicable for undergrad colleges and universities and things of that kind, whereas IIMs do not require to get any AICTE recognition because simply there is no need of that, right? So that I hope clarifies your question. Okay, now the other question that I see is how many admissions have happened so far and how many seats remain? Let me answer that question. What we have seen in our past experience is that we run like 4 cycles. Like this year, we're running 4 cycles of admission. Typically, the application pool in the first 2 cycles is relatively thin, and application pool in cycle number 3 and 4 is relatively much higher because CAT results are announced. So similar is the experience in terms of our offers and seats remaining, right, to be occupied. So that answers, I hope, your question, how many admissions have happened and how many yet to happen. But coming to your individual issue, while many of these questions, what is the cutoff, how many seats are going to be there, and how many remaining, all this perhaps is, it's a natural human tendency to kind of think about all this. But as I said, if you have a valid score, if digital excites you, management excites you, if I were in your position, I'll go ahead and apply. If it does not, I will not apply. As simple as that. So my urge to all the participants here is this: think about these 2 questions and go ahead and apply, right? It's not too demanding to apply in terms of time or whatever, and you'll quickly get the answer. But most important is you should take the decision which is in your best interest, and I hope that you take the right decision. And because we don't see any more questions, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the co-panelists for being with us today, and each one of you for finding time to listen to us, to listen to getting to know about this program, and wishing you all the best in your journey of acquiring a higher educational qualification. And may you take the right decision. With that, thank you so much. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining session. Thanks to all the panelists. We look forward to seeing many of you joining the upcoming DEM batch. And if you have any further queries, you can always reach out to us. And so good evening, everyone, and all the very best.
Thank you.